Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Soldiers Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Today I have a special guest. I have Private First Class Naputi. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. How was your day today?
It was all right. It was cold. We was out at the motor pool cleaning tents for recovery, and then coming back after lunch. It was strictly business for the award ceremony tomorrow.
I got you. So kind of introduce yourself to the people, let them know like where you from and stuff like that.
Okay. Um, my name's PFC Naputi. I'm born from Guam. I love food and sleep, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so where exactly is Guam? It's an island, right?
Yes, it's a small island. It's a small island. If I can remember right, I think it's north of the Philippines, close to Japan. I be wanting to go home, but tickets from here is too expensive. It's way out of my. It's above my paycheck.
I got you. So what is like what was it like? So how old were you when you moved over here?
So when I left Guam, I was 5 or 6, and then we moved to Lawton, Oklahoma, and then that's where I turned like 7. Stayed there for 3 years. Then my dad got PCS to Germany. Stayed there for 3 years, and then he med boarded, and ever since then, went back to Oklahoma, and then I enlisted when I turned 18.
Okay, so you basically was like a military brat.
Yeah, yeah, most of my life, yes, I was.
Okay, so how was that though? Like how was that like when you had to change schools and like how was that type of lifestyle?
So I don't remember much from Guam. All I do know is that I do want to go back. Um, Moving to Oklahoma, I didn't really care much about like the school. The education was horrible, even for elementary grade level. Moving to Germany, I miss Germany. I didn't want to leave. Moving from school to school, it sucked because like it started sucking for me leaving Germany because that's where I made a lot of my good friends.
Okay, so that's basically the main thing where like you had to keep changing your environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. So I want to kind of lead when you say you joined at 18, joined the military at 18. So what made you join? Like, was it because your dad or what?
So, um, I think it was a mix. Um, I wanted my independence. I finished high school early to try and enlist earlier on, but I knew that if I left too early and like I didn't walk the stage, I would regret it. So I stayed and I walked, but the main reasons why I wanted to like enlist is because I didn't like the roles that my parents had set. Um I wanted a job, I wanted to save up for a car. I wasn't even allowed to get like my permit. They told me that I'm going to college, so and I'm living under their roof, so I have no reason to get my license and a car and to have a job, and I can't be locked down like that. I have to have my independence.
I got you. So they was trying to shelter you. They
Yes, I was sheltered my entire life, which I am thankful for, but as I got older, I just craved that independence.
okay. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 4 sisters and 1 brother, so there's 6 of us in total.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm more like the middle child.
Okay,
You know how the middle child is. So they like the trouble child apparently.
I got you.
Hmm.
So, you said you wanted your independence. So, like, what happened with the process? Like, when you far as when to going to see the recruiter and like stuff like that. What's the process with that?
Um, so going in to see the recruiter, intentionally, I was going in to become a 68 Echo, cause like I know that if I do get out, and I don't reenlist, I do want to get a degree in like dental health to try and become a dental hygienist. But he told me that there was no like entry level slots available. I still think he lied. I don't know. 'Cause 42 was hurting for numbers and still are. So at the end of the day, I chose 42.
Okay. So tell the people what's a 42 alpha for the people who don't know.
So 42 Alpha is a human resources specialist. A lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork and brain aneurysms.
What is that?
Headaches, migraines, just from looking at computer screens all the time. Yeah.
I got you. So do you like what you do though?
I do. Yeah, I actually do enjoy my job. I like how in the Army there is a lot of like availability. Like if I want a PCS somewhere, I have a higher chance compared to if like I had went the 68 Echo route. Um, so far from what I've heard from like people from 257 who are 68 Echoes, they said they don't really get to do their job. As a 42, I do get a lot of hands-on experience with my job.
I got you. So we're gonna kind of get into when after you chose your job. So what when you went to basic training. So when did you go to basic training?
I went to basic training July 7th of 2021.
July 7th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so that wasn't that long ago.
Not too long ago now.
Yeah, so do you remember anything from it? Like what's some of your what's some memories that you had from basic training? Like what some stuff that you remember from the top of your head?
Ooh, I think compared to other people, my basic training experience was pretty easy. Um, I remember that was the last time I wanted to be around so many females. Um, I just, cause like typically like I said, I have like 4 sisters growing up, but I never really thought females were gross until I went to basic and just the stuff I've seen and the stuff they did. No, and then at the same time, like I gone into like almost like 3 fights in basic training, like cat
For real?
mouth, a lot of catty mouth females. Yes.
That's crazy.
I try to ignore it, but
You seem like the quiet type though.
I know, but I mean, it's the quiet ones that surprise you.
I guess
At least my personal experience, quiet ones are the ones that surprise me the most.
I got you.
Yeah.
So are you a fighter though? Like you don't look you don't look for trouble. Like you don't look for trouble, but if it comes to you, you don't mind
So
facing it.
yeah, I don't mind facing it. As I got older, I've learned to control my mouth and my hands more. In middle school, I was horrible. Like I was catty mouth to like almost everybody. I can't say I was disrespectful, but as I got older, it got better. I learned how to control my emotions. I'm still working on it. But it's way better than how it used to be.
I got you. So that's the basic thing you remember from the top of your head. The far as just the stuff that you seen, far as being around so many females.
Yes. But a more in depth, like as far as like more in specific about the training, I honestly enjoyed it. I think my favorite part of it was qualling, shooting at the ranges, and that was my first time shooting a weapon ever in my entire life. So I found it pretty dope.
It was your first time shooting the grenade launcher and all that?
A grenade launcher?
You remember? Did y'all not grenade? Did you throw the grenades too?
Oh yeah, we did. That was pretty dope too.
Okay. So your favorite part was bars the ranges.
Yeah.
Okay, so after basic and AIT was over, so what was your first duty station?
Originally, my first duty station was supposed to be Fort Bliss, but I decided to swap with someone in AIT to come here to brag.
And why did you chose that?
Because my boyfriend at the time was stationed here. Like he was in the Marines and he was at Camp Lejeune, and Camp Lejeune is like 2 hours. And ever since, because he was in a higher grade level than me, so he enlisted and he like moved away from our hometown, and so we were in like a long distance for like 2 years, and so I enlisted for my independence, but then I also didn't want to do like more years of being separated, so I chose to come here for that reason.
Because it was closer.
Yes, closer to him. Yeah.
I got you. So when you got here, what like did you have a sponsor showing you around and like to your unit and stuff like that?
So coming here, I did not have a sponsor. Um, at least I didn't get no emails from the member. When I got here, um, my boyfriend came and picked me up from the airport, and I was like completely lost because like again I didn't have a sponsor. I didn't know what to do. Coming straight from AIT, I had no idea what to do. So he's been on Bragg because like I said, he's stationed at Camp Lejeune, so he comes down to Bragg because he has friends that he has here. So he had more of an idea what to do. So he took me to like the barracks, and someone on CQ instructed me on what to do, and then that service member became my sponsor, even though he wasn't like in like the company that I'm in and this that.
Okay, so your first when you found out where you was gonna be working at, your first line supervisor, who was your first I ain't gonna say who was your first line supervisor, like so what was your experience with your first line supervisor? Like far as did they was it good or bad?
I think it was good. I think my first line supervisor is a very independent, hardworking person, and I do think that it is. I feel like it's good to have a supervisor that is devoted to their soldiers and their work.
Okay, so far as leadership, so I wanna ask you what do you think a great leader is? And also what qualities do you think a great leader should have?
So I think a good leader is the one that says and does it along with the people who they are leading. Um, that's at least my preference and what I think makes a good leader. Qualities, like I said, are ones that are devoted, hardworking, dedicated, um, confident. Because you can't. Me personally, I don't know how I would feel if I had a leader that wasn't confident in their choices. It would make me inconfident as well.
I got you. So okay, those are some good qualities. So you guys have met Private First Class Naputi and everything what she thinks a leader is. So uh I want to first of all I want to thank you for doing the interview. Thank you for doing the interview, telling the people stuff like that. So make sure you guys follow the podcast on Soldiers on Instagram at Soldiers Talk the Podcast. Make sure you guys follow it on YouTube and Facebook at Soldiers Talk the Podcast. So in closing, I want to ask you, like, do you hold on? I want to ask you, so to a brand new soldier that's coming into the army, don't know nothing, just first time coming in, what's the advice you would give them?
Don't let your first duty station be like the permanent impression of the army or the military, whatever branch you're in. That's what I would say so far that I've learned.
Okay. Appreciate that. So there you guys go. This has been another episode of Soldier Talk the Podcast, and I'll see you guys in formation.